I've spent a lot of my life behind bars. While the surround gaming experience was fun, those bezels really did ruin the experience. Luckily, LG was nice enough to lend me their new 34UC79-G Ultrawide gaming monitor. As the name suggests, this is a 34-inch model. The resolution is only 2560 by 1080, which doesn't really help to make everything look super sharp, but at least it's a resolution that your GPU will actually be able to push enough frames to. The display goes all the way to 144 Hz and has FreeSync for when your frame rates drop. FreeSync works between 50 and 144 FPS. Before we get into the gaming experience, let's talk about specs. So it's a curved IPS panel, so 178 degrees of viewing angles. The colors are very nice, but perhaps not super accurate. Now the response time actually is 5 milliseconds, not 1 millisecond as advertised. That 1 millisecond is in a special gaming mode, which then disables FreeSync, so you don't want to use it. You also have about 14 milliseconds of input lag, which I guess is pretty good. I/O is plenty. With a built-in USB 3.0 hub, you get dual HDMI 2.0 and a single DisplayPort 1.2. There's also an audio pass-through and some very decent speakers built in. Now I like the build quality. It feels very high quality and it doesn't look too tacky, although I'm not sure about those red lines yet. You have 12 centimeters of vertical adjustability and 25 degrees of tilt. Of course, you can also mount this display to a VESA mount. The bezels are thin, but there is the usual LG black bar around the display. Moving on to the gaming experience then, it's pretty damn sweet. 21:9 really works for me in racing games and shooters. There's just something about that wide field of view that makes games more immersive. A bit like surround gaming, but without the bars. The high refresh rate is great too, and FreeSync really helps prevent tearing. I have not a single complaint here. However, when you go to MOBAs, it's a bit different. Because the display is so wide, it's kinda hard to keep an eye on your minimap in a game like League of Legends. The display isn't just good for gaming though, it's great for productivity too. So you can easily fit two websites or just two windows next to each other in a much more convenient and practical way than what you would get with dual monitors. LG also has this split screen software, but I didn't end up using it much because of the limited resolution on this model. What's of course amazing on a 21:9 display is watching films. The size, curve and aspect ratio are great to enjoy films without that annoying letterboxing that you would get on a 16:9 display. The OSD is quite easy to navigate using the joystick at the bottom, so no complaints here. There are a lot of modes though, so that can be a bit confusing. So to conclude, the LG 34UC79-G is a great gaming display which also does a great job at productivity work and watching films. Colors are accurate enough, and while the resolution isn't always great, it does help take some stress off of your computer. FreeSync really helps prevent awful tearing if you have an AMD GPU, and if you don't, just make sure you can push high enough FPS and you're fine too. Just think of FreeSync as an added bonus, not as something that you pay for. I really like the design and the build quality, but the OSD can perhaps be simplified a little. Anyway guys, if you like this video, press that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to follow the channel more, there's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram in the description below. If, like the awesome people on your screen right now, you want to support the channel, there's of course a Patreon page. For now though, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.